Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new play-by-play video. Today we're going to be playing some Cerberus solo. Looks like we are laying ourselves against a chalk. We're going to see how this one goes. For my starter item, I'm going to go Conduit. We'll go Horn Shard. We're going to rush a Breastplate, I believe, and see how it feels. I haven't played this character too much recently, but still a pretty good character overall. You really kind of find advantages with Cerberus with your Secure being so powerful, maxing your Paralyzing Spit, aka your Stun. You can also max your second ability, or your Breathe, if you are in a lane where it's not going to get interrupted, but again, you're factoring in that you just won't have Secure. Both are fine options for your build rush. You can either go Conduit into a Breastplate, Conduit into a Mystical, and then go the opposite afterwards. We'll probably go Conduit, Breastplate, Mystical, Pridwin, Archdruid's Binding, and it should feel very, very good. Definitely excited to give this one a go. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll do our very, very best with this game. Yeah, I haven't played Cerb in a while, so I'm a little bit rusty, but I hope that it turns out okay nonetheless. In this kind of a lane, I'm probably going to get out cleared at level 1, which is okay. And I'll probably also have to relinquish some pressure. The biggest thing with the Guardian solos that just make them kind of weak to start with the game is typically their clear is about on par with these warriors, but their auto attacks are significantly worse. So after I use my clear ability, I won't be able to just walk up and auto down the wave like he may be able to. Both of us level 2, he obviously did hit it first, so I'm just going to look for a jump right here, group up the wave, and get a full breath on the wave. We'll pop our shard as... Oh wow, something new. We do survive. Okay. Sure. So sometimes you can see like Arachne specifically do a gank like that. I'm pretty surprised to see it happen, but it did happen, so that is that, I suppose. We'll try to get this totem here. And yeah, I'm pretty shocked. I wasn't really ready for that. Kind of just got on. Once again, it's midnight. Happy July 4th to everybody celebrating in the US and whatnot, but if you aren't, just a normal Thursday for you. But yeah, I just started recording this. It's a little bit late, so I'm a bit tired, but wanted to get some games ahead of the schedule, ahead of time, and just kind of be ready for that. But with that little gank, again, we have to expend some health pots and stuff like that. Really important there that we pop our shard. You know, obviously I wasn't playing and expecting to get ganked, but the idea right there is that if I can have my shard popped when the chalk walks back, I'll have my abilities again, and I'll be able to either poke him or, you know, kind of clear the wave in a somewhat timely fashion. We'll hold our 1 here, get us a little bit more damage, secure it with our thing. We are getting ganked again. I'm going to have to level my 2 here, and I might just be dead, unfortunately, either way. That's okay. So unfortunately, we do fall. I tried to level my 2 right there and try to basically just... what is it called? Like out damage him just a little bit. Didn't really work out. We bought a chalice there instead of tier 2 breastplate because I feel like I'll take damage before anything else here. And yeah, a little bit of a rough start, but nothing we can't fix. One thing that you'll generally see is that, you know, if you're doing a camp like that, you do put yourself to be pretty liable for getting ganked. It's a little strange, you know, and I think that the pathing already for this game is super messed up with duo lane going pretty poorly and Arachne doing an unconventional start, so all the timings are all messed up. And unfortunately, yeah, we do die. It shouldn't be the end of the world, though I really don't think it's hugely a cause for concern. We'll just kind of continue our game as is. I put a point in my 2 there again to kind of try to get some extra damage off. Maybe Arachne diving us means that, you know, she dies like from the tower shot after the fact. It didn't end up happening, but it was worth a shot. Nonetheless, we got our ultimate here. We'll kind of just try to play safe and stuff. We want to make sure we get this breastplate. 700 more gold for that. Try to get some of these neutrals and stuff. We'll be maxing our 1 from now on to aid in that secure. And yeah, it should be all right. You know, sometimes you do just kind of die to weird ganks and stuff, and you know, solo lane attention is nothing new, right? So just got to play around it. Again, we're gonna look for the same idea here. I'll have my jump and my ult, so I'll be a lot safer to potential pressure. We drag this camp back, secure it. And despite the death, really not seeing ourselves fall behind at all. We're going to just jump an ability if he throws it and maintain our health bar and do a decent job just with staying up. Obviously, if our jump isn't up, we don't want to walk too far up. I also don't think I can necessarily win a fight against this guy, despite us having the same build. Just kind of the nature of his character versus mine. I'm going to space away from that. Still got hit, sadly. And we'll kind of work on clearing again. He's actually kind of like relinquishing this a little bit. Not too much. And we'll back up. I want to do the silver camp, but I kind of need a little bit of clear space in this lane to actually walk over. He's going to start it now. We'll go for a stun steal on it. And we do get it. So again, maxing your 1, it really gives you a lot of opportunity to secure and stuff. And just by securing some of those neutrals, despite a kind of iffy start, we end up finding ourselves ahead in this lane by a pretty considerable margin too. He just ticks over to 7 while, you know, we're 7 before we even get the wave. We have enough for that breastplate now, so we're good to back. Also a decent time to get a ward here as well. Arachne we do see in mid. So I'm not too worried about her, but you know, definitely important to kind of get some vision out. She went a pretty weird build going for Gilded Arrow. I mean, I guess, to be fair, Eye of the Jungle is kind of not what it used to be, and Bumba's hammer, Bumba's dagger probably not very good on Arachne, so weird. I guess you could go mannequins, but I don't know, maybe he's got some secret tech. It worked against us, so I'll give him that. And we'll just keep on farming though, and kind of just playing our game. We're doing a good job. We might lose this camp here, so we'll lose a little bit of that lead, but kind of just turning ourselves to be even in this lane is a pretty good, happy situation for me, and you know, one that we're pretty cool with. Just go get this wave here. We're gonna go run to our blue buff and secure that. Again, making sure that we hold finishing the camp for our first ability. Really important. We do that. I'm going to say it's about 350 we get it. Don't know exactly how much it does, but it's enough. You want to, it's a great habit to kind of have that secure. So if somebody does show up, you know, you're not in a pinch, you're not worried, you're not lacking. You'll be able to get the thing. I'm just going to go straight to this camp right here as he goes for his wave clear. Doesn't really have anything to contest this besides an ultimate. And again, we just get our 1 off and we jump away, and we are more than okay in those spots. Best play as a chalk right there is actually just to follow us and look for the 1-2 on the camp. But we took advantage kind of that spot, and it worked out pretty well for us. So still maintaining our lead. And here, yeah, we have a couple of options. I can go for a mystical mail here. I can say I don't want to go mystical and go for a divine right away to build some extra damage. Looking at their comp, they do have a lot of healing. 4 characters on their team have like some variation of healing, and obviously Apollo will have lifesteal, so all 5. But Chalk, Ra, and Hercules have pretty significant healing in the grand scheme of things. So actually might just rush divine here. Not a bad buy. It's power, flat pen, 2 things you really do want whenever you're playing this. Well, whenever you're playing this game, really. And we'll just out-secure that again. We are taking a lot of damage to stand up in time, so another great thing you can do as a chalk or just any character there fighting someone who's just playing to secure a camp is literally just hit them. I'm going to have to leave eventually if you do that, and generally speaking should be pretty powerful. Still though, managed to do it. We see this Hercules who's the support. I can bait myself forward here a little bit just to waste some time on this guy. I want him to kind of not be farming, only does good stuff for me. We'll stun him now. And yeah, Herc's just wasting time, so it's a good thing. It's not going to do much, but it's still kind of valuable, I suppose. And we have that ward to kind of give us some controlling space and whatnot. Back up again here. Looking at his build, he went Void Domaru, so I guess just a magical defense item. Nothing really too important to note about that. Don't really want to contest that silver just because I didn't know where Arachne was. I know I had that ward, but it's not too much when you're a little bit low. Didn't end up being around us, but it was worth the safety we kind of put forward. I'm okay with giving up a camp or 2, just to make sure I don't die. Yeah, again, he is really pressuring us. I'm not too worried about dying or anything here. It's more so, can we get this blue buff? My chances of it are pretty decent, especially with this guy pathing away. And yeah, we should be able to just do it. So how much damage do we really do? A lot. Okay, especially with our 1 all the way maxed out now. So, look, if we went Divine here, I don't think we have kill potential per se, but we have better kill potential than whatever we have now, which is nothing. But more importantly, we have better buff secure, and the flat pen with our passive is going to, with our second ability is going to really strip even more protections and just be super powerful. Definitely leaning towards it. We're going to upgrade breastplate right here towards this glyph. You'll see this sometimes on these Guardian solos especially. And the idea with this is that the passive of the Suppress Blade is basically when I take physical damage, I get in some stacks, from gods that is obviously, that effectively just give me extra physical prots. And when I take magical damage, I'll gain magical stacks that give me magical prots. And then when I get, I believe, 4 hits of each, I gain double prots for a short period of time, and then those stacks disappear. But in a lane like this, where I'm only being hit, obviously, by just physical damage, I'm just going to have those additional physical prots for free forever, effectively, until I get hit by magicals, and then I'll detonate it and get movement speed and stuff. But just as a pure stat wise item, like, it's quite good. I'm just getting some extra protections really for doing nothing. As you see right now, we have 2 stacks. Physical protections are increased, and that is by 5. So we have 10 additional prots for being hit twice, and that's going to cap out at 20. And in a laning phase perspective, when an item only gives you 50 prots, we're getting 20 prots for a tier 1 effectively right there, which is pretty customary. But it's still powerful, and it's very non-committal. I don't need to show much of a build, and if I have extra gold to spare, I may as well do it. Again, I don't think it's game-changing, game-breaking, or anything like that, but if you do want to go in on the Cerberus, if you want to go down an Ardio, something like that, by all means. And as you see, with this, even this tier 2 flat pen, we definitely do damage. I'm going to pop my shard here and look a bit for this trade. We'll get the 2 off, get the 1 off, jump his ult him here. He dashed back, it still is fine. We're going to push the wave, not actually go for the chase right here. And even though we don't actually get the kill, we're going to push a wave in, so definitely on the upside for us. He's staying. And he has made the fatal mistake, I fear. I don't kill him. Even if I hit that, I don't kill him. Alright, I thought maybe we'd get him, but yeah, a little bit too tanky. That's okay. Still lost a little bit of farm. Ultimately isn't too bad, I believe. Arachne is on left. I'm going to make a huge gamble here. And it looks like she was. She is. Cool. I saw her for a fraction of a second, so knew that we were kind of okay over here. This guy's playing safe. We can just kind of keep this wave tension. He's running to his blue because it just spawned. Again, I'm going to push. It is safe for me just to clear, or not to clear there, and just continue to freeze to try to get more farm, but we're risking it for the biscuit. The biscuit is not secured. Hate to see it. Our ultimate is coming up soon. His ultimate is probably already about to be up. Can go for a 1 here, but yeah, just not enough kill potential. Probably would have been safer there just to freeze the wave, but we wanted to go for a little bit more potentially. Again, this is another spot I could freeze, but I'd rather just kind of farm fast and get all of these neutrals and stuff out of the way. Never know when this Arachne can just resend, come over to us, because she won the fight on left. So it was worth a shot. Again, we're relieving tension specifically here, just to kind of farm, but another aspect of like freezing and Smite, and this typically doesn't happen, because generally when you're freezing, you're ahead and your team's probably even or ahead as well, but you put yourself not only under a lot of risk, but you're slowing your farming speed, and normally that's not a big problem because you're slowing your enemy's farming speed a lot. But when we're in a game where we're down 3,500, 4,000 as a team, I kind of need to push the pace a little bit, make a rotation kind of soon, and hopefully tip the scales a little bit back. I don't think this game is over or anything like that. It's not nearly that bad. But if I can rotate, bring us back to a comfortable 1k deficit, definitely going to feel good, right? So we'll look for rotation right here. This is kind of a golden opportunity. Our TP's up in 2 seconds. I'm going to get Blink here, of course, and we will start going into an Archers right now and a Binding as well. Getting a Super 2 off. Getting ults off. That was like the easiest rotation of all time. There's not really a lot to be said about that. Missed the actual stun, which is a bit of a shame, but could still be a kill. I don't have enough. It's too bad. We'll jump back here. I'm trying to get to my team. I didn't know Nua was with me. I'm sorry. I couldn't have helped either way, though. Almost got him there. Ultimate forced by Arachne. We do a lot of damage with that divine thing. Yeah, a bit of a shame. No worries, though. We'll go get this chest here. Again, a really easy rotation. When they're going that like deep over for something, should tend to go pretty okay for you. We almost got a lot more, so bit of a shame. But look, I mean, big picture, we did kind of what we wanted to do. Cut that lead up a little bit, and even 1400 or something is not so bad. I'm going to go for this blue buff on the spawn. These are secure, and with that damage, with how strong our 1 is, we're able to just easily swipe that away and really outsecure just about every character in the game who's a solo laner with this build. So high marks for that. Can go head over to silver here, kind of clear that. Again, with our build, I'm going to go into a binding and an archers most likely. Generally speaking, after that I go into a magical defense item. However, I think we'll probably change that build a little bit this game, only because when I'm looking at what they have, we see a lot of crit being built on Apollo here, and we're also, and they're heading over to Bull Demon King, I can make a soft defense on this. I have a lot of gold on me, so I don't want to do anything too crazy. Okay, they're not on it, no problem. But basically, I want to go Spectral. That's the point. They have a lot of crit, not a lot of pen, but a lot of crit. Have to go Spectral. So we're gonna forego probably Archers this game, and instead just go Binding here. They did Pyro. That's all right. Again, we don't have the most pressure right now on the map, and we're gonna kind of fall back to that 2K-ish deficit. But the idea is, you know, if we have a 2,000 deficit at, and I'll just ult this guy here to make sure I can secure this. If we have a 2K deficit at 15 minutes versus a 2K deficit at 12 minutes, it's a big difference in terms of how that actually applies. And I'm actually going to just start the Spectral right now, and we'll get some words here. I know this build looks a little wonky, but again, I see this Hidden Dagger and most likely a Gilded Arrow Arachne plus double crit rush by Apollo, and I think that's kind of a crisis, so we'll make sure we kind of act accordingly, and we'll go into our normal items soon after. I'm going to rotate mid right now just because there's a super dive going on. Good job there. See if I can get to this Ra, who is overstretched in mid here. He is just not ready. Did auto by accidentally, but we still do manage to get him quite handedly. And I can just kind of leave. So one thing that's like a little awkward, guys, is so my mouse broke, and I changed my auto attack and like everything. I changed my key thing. It's not my mouse that broke, but my left click kind of broke. So I'm using everything with right click now, and I'm just not used to it. Sometimes I'm just like over auto attacking and stuff like that. It's really awkward, but I'll get there in time. It's no big deal. Because the thing is, I think I need to use my left click to cancel things. I don't know, it's strange. Again, I haven't really been playing like Cerb and stuff in general, so it's a bit of an adjustment sometimes. I don't want to jump over on this camp just because I don't know where Arachne is. If I jump in, yeah, that can obviously go a little bit poorly. So I'll lose out on the blue, and again, had I jumped in, I would have gotten it, but I'm okay with not making risky plays like that. Yeah, so I need to use my left click to cancel stuff. That is so weird. But yeah, again, no reason to risk anything when you're ahead. So just won't do it. I'm going to upgrade TP here, go get Spectral. This will give us a little bit more opportunity to rotate easily. Easy rotations just means I'm going to be losing less farm, and if I'm losing less farm, chances are we'll probably be winning. So nice little lead here. Spectral now, again, obviously giving us physical prots, but most importantly anti-crit for this influx of crit. Always want to build Spectral into these ADC builds, and any jungler that goes crit as well. So if they had a Cirque, if they had a Mercury, anything like that would be a good buy. One thing is we are definitely very physical defense slated, so you know it's important to be mindful of that, but I think we'll be okay. We get a slow off on this guy, kind of flick a stun, it doesn't really get off, but at least that guy lives, so that's good, I guess. They're going to kind of head over to this. We should be fine. I have to be really mindful for this raw damage just because, again, I really do not have magical defense just yet. Jump away from this combo. Definitely don't want to get hit by that. And I can actually probably just kid dump the raw right here because he is a little pushed out. Oh, we misread it. We might have to defend gold. I think they are on it. I mean, this guy's zoning. They could still be on it. Excuse me, but with the rod there and this guy, okay, they were still on it. We'll at least get beacon, and honestly, not too bad. Kind of wasted my blinks, that's on me. I'm a little surprised they stuck with it with how much they were committing other places, but gives us an opportunity, I guess, to have a decent fight after, maybe. Got a stun on him. Again, I don't want to overforce something, so I'm not sure we're actually that strong. But I'm definitely going to chase at least a little bit. We'll ult this guy here. It should just be a kill at the very least. Nice job. Alright, so look, we get a beacon, a pick. I'm going to be able to TP over to the right lane, push a tower, and probably get it. Losing, you know, getting that and losing gold isn't the worst trade in the world. And actually, as you look at the farm on the map, we're even as a team. So pretty happy with that. You know, when you get your gold furies and stuff, you have to make sure your disengages are clean. And the reason I was so shocked with them on gold is that Ra's completely isolated there and Chalk is doing a pretty committal zone. And when that's happening, chances are you're not going to be able to disengage pretty easily and safely. And you know, as a result, we got a lot back and ultimately I think put ourselves in a better spot. We also have enough gold now for a starter, so we'll be getting that as we hit 20. And then finally, we will start pivoting towards some more magical defense in the format of Stone of Binding here. Archer is really good on this character, honestly, very fun. But I think if I'm having to choose between one of the two, honestly, it's tough. You know, they're both really good. Archer is really strong, Binding is really strong. Binding is obviously a little bit less committal, just because I'm able to reduce protections without actually auto-attacking, or Archer is, I need to get right up and close and personal. We'll ult this guy, force his ult. We do a lot of damage, obviously, with our 2 in Divine. Can jump after him, but I'm a little bit out of range. Yeah, so she'll be fine. That's okay, though. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of open to doing either one, so I'm a little torn. Archers is a little bit better for the highlight reel, and is really fun. So I'm actually gonna do Archerids, though I think competitively Binding's probably a little bit better, especially on this character. But this is still good. So again, you're not too remiss. It's pretty close. We can get towards this Hercules maybe. He's gonna be pathing left. I'll try to cut him off, but I can also just flip to this Ra if he pushes up too much. Didn't happen, but chasing the Herc there was kind of a done deal. Again, when you have a teleport on such a short cooldown, you can kind of just... And I totally forgot to get my starter. Whoops. You can kind of just play a little bit loosely and just try for stuff. And if it doesn't work, no big deal. Again, I have no starter here, which is a little bit sad, but Arachne also has no ult. We'll get pulled back, immune the Apollo ult. We get some pulls here. Apollo Aegis there. He's way out of position, dashes out. But it's a little bit slow, and we should be able to win it pretty handedly. Uh-oh. Gonna get some pen and damage and all that stuff applied to them. Prot reduced more so. That was a great combo. Good job. We'll play for a jump here because we can still do stuff. We have Archers. Again, our guys just split pushing on left, so we're always winning. I'll go steal the mask and we'll just kind of move on with the fight. I totally forgot to get my starter again. If you have starter gold, always just finish that. Just kind of forgot I was level 20. Steal that pretty easily. I wasn't sure it did 630, so I'll let him do something and make a mistake. And us stealing these masks, we've really denied a lot of them for his team. So that's obviously super good. Yeah, I called missing. Unfortunately, I did not back up. That's too bad. We're going to reset right now, TP mid. Knew I was probably doomed, but hopefully we can at least defend fire. I've got the starter item here. So that's good. And yeah, we'll have to hold this. Pretty televised, telegraph, excuse me, what would be happening there. So kind of a shame that that happened, but we'll try our best to make a defense here. Do have ultimate, don't have blink. Obviously no beads or anything on our build. We're just gonna get super stunned. That is too bad. Again, as long as I don't die, I don't care that much, honestly. Yeah, he ends up getting that guy pretty comfortably. I kind of ditched. Maybe I shouldn't have. Yeah, not enough damage. We're healing a lot though with all this heal stealing. So yeah, I kind of backed up a little bit too preemptively. But we aren't dead or anything, so I can chase a little bit here. Again, Gem of Focus means I am fast as all heck, and we are stealing so much health with all of this, with our passive and stuff. Man, I'm actually just unkillable. Holy. Uh-oh. Might have spoken too soon. No, we're fine. Oh my gosh, this is really shocking. Alright. I mean, I won't complain. Get the stun on him. I can space a little bit. Again, we have Gem of Focus soon. Or abilities soon for Gem of Focus. We'll blink in. Got him. Again, you cancel that, you get all 3 stacks. Super easy. You get these Archers autos. We actually just can't die. This is crazy. I'm really shocked by it. Again, I'm like, because normally you never look at your health bar playing Smite. At least I never do. I feel like that's just one of the things you do in Smite. You just don't do, excuse me. But basically though, like, excuse me. Basically, there's a lot of these fights, like in that fight, where I'm like, man, I should be almost dead here. But I've stolen so much healing from them with my passive that I'm totally fine. And that's kind of crazy. It's from the rods, from the fire giant, it's from the Hercules, it's from the chalk, even the Arachne probably a little bit at times. And that was just absurd. So I can go a dedicated magical defense item here, and I probably should, just because, again, prot-wise, we are pretty poor on that front. Really, this raw comboing us, which he hasn't done this game, just because he hasn't had, abilities available, and we've been pretty slippery. That's our way to die, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go into Oni's here. We get a 500 pot as well, and this way we have some mitigation, so we have some CCR, magical protections as well, and we are pretty rounded with our build. Obviously, physical defense slated, you just kind of have to live with that when you have stuff like Spectral, but 143 prots isn't necessarily a safe build by any accounts or something on the magical side, but it's an improvement, and that's kind of all I can ask for at this point. Going Heartward would also be okay, but remember I'm getting mitigations when I'm around enemy targets here, so I'm artificially actually a good bit tankier than I may look. And movement speed too, it's a really underrated aspect. When you're this fast, you're harder to hit, and by a result, usually a lot more tanky. Or at least feeling a lot more tanky, just because, again, you're not really getting hit as much. We can look for a stun at any point here. We'll get a ward up in this spot. That's kind of the choke kind of corner point where people will come by, and we can pre-stun people, get damage off, all that stuff, and just make it feel a little bit awkward for them on these defenses. Now, I don't actually have fire. Well, because we don't have fire, duh, that's why I was like, yeah, I don't have fire, but none of us have fire. We're forcing them here with the mid Phoenix down, understanding that this fight will eventually become good when they have to defend fireways in mid, but it's also understanding that, like, just by keeping them here, they're not farming, and when we're ahead, that's an advantage for us, because we can just wait for Fire Giant. So I'm going to walk in here. Again, nothing super committal. I don't want to die for this. I don't want to jump in ever either. We'll put this guy in combat, get some little bit of damage on him, and just jump away here, can retreat and just do fire. Again, no commit, nothing being forced. I know maybe our teammates had different plans in mind, but I literally risked nothing, and there was only upside there. Now we can go to fire, get like basically an N shape or a C shape around this whole area like that, and we'll just be totally covered. Now, you have to remember in a game like this specifically, we don't have better secure than they do on the objective, right? They have a Raoul and we have a Nuwa combo, which is actually fairly close, but you don't take 50-50 objective fights on a fire against a Ra, against a Scylla, against the Kukulkan, against the Thoth. There's just a couple characters you just don't do that against. So what we want to do is we want to get this kind of superior vision for the idea of basically creating this kind of net, this C shape, this N shape, a crescent shape, whatever you want to say. And the idea is that when we start to see people, we can just encroach kind of in their space, walk at them, poke someone out, and then ideally a frontliner, right? Because that'll be the person who's walked up. The frontliner gets poked out, they have to reset, or they're just like a non-factor. And then their backliners either have to walk up in striking distance where we can just kill them as we're like pulling the fire but not actually committing to it, or straight up we just dive them and kill them. Either way it works. So either poke the frontliner, force them out of the fight, which is a little bit harder when they have healing, or more realistically, as they do have healing, just kind of kill them. Nuwa, ult, and stuff like that makes that a lot easier. We forced Choco, that's already a pretty big cooldown. I guess he took a 1v1 on the Arachne, that guy died, Apollo's in the air. We'll probably get a kill on our Marty, but honestly, not a big deal. I'm going to kind of just run around here and be a little bit of a absolute hassle for him. And even right now, they're just running, so we can probably just do fire. We can just kind of bait people in. I know our comp is a little bit weird without our ADC to do fire with us, but we do have a Circuit with crit, so it actually should be pretty okay. I'm just going to kind of get on this camp for now. And again, we want to take the fight more so than anything. Oh, I am awful for that. So yeah, now we just want to kill these people. And see, notice how this guy gets off immediately, and Ra doesn't even have the opportunity to secure. We just ult them here. It was actually pretty close, but we do just get them all. So again, we got the fire a little bit too close for comfort there in terms of a health bar sense of things, but the idea still stood. We're just going to make them walk up. Look at how the Ra, because of people dead and stuff, had to walk into such a big danger zone, thought he could steal it, whatever the case might be. If he doesn't show up, obviously he just lets his teammates insta-die, and if he does show up, he's just dead himself. So pretty smooth, excuse me, not smooth, smooth sailing for us, and maybe an end here. Kind of holding my stun here for this Arachne when she goes in. I can also just throw it out for damage a bit. I've got my 2 up now. Jump does a lot of damage, and I think we got this. We got it eventually. Nuon minions and stuff are really safe and strong. And we do get it after 29 minutes and 46 seconds. It was a little awkward that game just because, like, I'm super not used to canceling abilities with my left click, so I feel like I was using my like the burn, the breath, whatever, like way too long at some times and not canceling it great other times. I did have one flick cancel, which was good, but it did feel really awkward. Again, I need a little bit of practice with these kind of abilities that you channel and then cancel with the left click. I'm just not used to it, but GG. Nonetheless, we died only one time to a double gank effectively and went pretty well. This guy is not the happiest camper, but I've heard quite poor things about him, so I'm not shocked. We'll say 26k damage, 8 wards, which is always nice, high mitigated as well, really high impact, a lot of healing stolen. I wish that showed here, but it does not, obviously. Great match, definitely was exciting, didn't expect to play Cerb, kind of just locked him in, and it makes for a great video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, let me know what you would like to see in the future. Have a happy July 4th, and I will see you guys sometime very shortly. Peace out.